On the World Internet Conference, I want to associate myself with the chairman's remarks. In 2006, I began a series of hearings. The first one was with Yahoo, Microsoft, Cisco, and Google. And I had all of the top people raise their hands, and we swore them in. And for 8 hours, asked questions as to why they were enabling the censorship, why they were part of the apparatus of repression, and their answers were awful. And then when you see Tim Cook talking about, as Mr. Rubio said, the common future, it's an ominous continuing down that path of allowing this repression, this surveillance, this misuse of the internet by the Chinese dictatorship to repress its own people. If you might want to speak to that. And finally, on the Confucius Institutes, we've had a number of hearings on this commission, as well as in my subcommittee, on the whole issue of the Confucius Institutes as a way, we call it academic malware, where there's an all-out attempt to, again, influence academia, students, Chinese students, but also American students, in a way that would give the party line, and we have them in New Jersey, they're all over the country, and your thoughts on these Confucius Institutes. We all know that heads of colleges and universities are ever in search of more money and more programming, and if it comes free of charge, certainly it's an engraved invitation to say, come to our college or university, and to me, it's an invitation for disinformation. So your thoughts on that?
I'd like to address the question of the World Internet Conference and Confucius Institutes. It seems to me that the United States is accustomed to dealing with or engaging with the world from a position of strength, not just comprehensive economic and military strength, but also a deep confidence of the enduring appeal of our values around the world. And that, particularly since the fall of the Berlin Wall, has produced a certain amount of complacency. We thought game over. I don't think China ended the game. And I believe that we are now playing different games, and the United States needs to get its game back on. Our confidence about our strengths, our power, our soft power, not just our hard power, has produced the language of responsible stakeholding, convergence. They'll become more like us if we simply open our institutions to them and show them how fabulous we are. China's the first country, I think, this century to challenge that from a position of comprehensive strength. They are large, they're increasingly rich, increasingly militarily powerful. And so we need to dig deep. Our way, I think, of dealing with a lot of these issues is to harden our own institutions, some of which are developing cracks. Academia, the media, other institutions. China is exploiting those cracks, and it is doing it in ways that, well, frankly, are brilliant. But if our best response to these exploitations is to strengthen ourselves, to raise consciousness, to get our game back on, and to reinvest in ourselves. And so I think it's a question of values. Senator King raised this earlier. To the extent that we regard our engagements with them as purely transactional and disengage values from it, then Tim Cook can talk optimistically about a day when China may suddenly open up without having to confront the problem of the China of today.